I believe people are hurting. Life today in 2025 is not easy for a lot of people. I worry a little bit as to where we're going. I'm pretty confident we'll be able to get ourselves out of this, but it's going to take maybe a wake-up call at some point, I think, and maybe each individual will have their own wake-up call. Hi, my name is Rob. Thanks for stopping by. If you're new here, welcome. It's nice to meet you. I've got a message for you. If you've got something to say, just go ahead and say it. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm talking about commenting on Facebook posts, YouTube videos, and I'm not at all suggesting you should stop. Like, if you want to make a comment down below, go right ahead. Get it off your chest. Whatever it is you want to say, good, bad, whatever. Feel free. I'll answer, and we can have a conversation. But where am I even going with this? I feel like people do have something to say, and perhaps they don't know where to say it. Now, if we look at Facebook posts that people comment on, a lot of times people will comment on posts and they'll say things that they wouldn't normally say to people to their faces. And they're saying these things to strangers. And fights happen and people are just mean back and forth. And it's gross. Like, I used to get a kick out of reading some comments sometimes on Facebook pages and even, well, to a lesser extent on YouTube videos, but not anymore. It's just, it's unnecessary and I don't like it. But it makes me a little bit sad too. And I start to think, why are people even commenting like this? And I came up with 4 possible reasons. And I've got my notes here because I don't want to forget them. I've got actually a lot of notes today, but I may not talk about them all. But the 4 things, number 1, I think it's an outlet for people. Some people just need an outlet. They need to vent whatever's going on in their life. Perhaps they just need to let it out. And more often than not, they will turn to the computer and fire up Facebook or YouTube and they'll lash out at strangers. I don't think that's healthy. It's not helpful to the person who posted that you're responding to, or the person that made the video, if it's in a YouTube comment on a YouTube video. It's not helpful at all. The only person I suppose maybe it's helping for that little instant in time is yourself, but is it really? I don't think it is. It's not helpful. It's not useful in any way. It's a waste of time. Another thing is it's just something to do. It's something for people to do if they've got nothing else to do. A lot of times I think people will find themselves endlessly scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, YouTube, and they're just killing time because they've got nothing else to do, or they're not finding something else to do. And that's how people today, more often than not, are choosing to spend their time, is scrolling through other people's content. And I don't think that's healthy either. It's just kind of the way society is changing. And I don't think it's for the better. There's just too many people who I think are lonely, quite honestly. And that's the third thing. I think people are lonely and they're looking for connection. And in some weird way, a negative comment on somebody's video or post, it is a connection. It's probably not a good or a healthy one. But I think that's one of the reasons why people are doing this, is that they're lonely. And then the last one is, I believe people are hurting. And what do I mean by that? Well, just overall, life today in 2025 is not easy for a lot of people. And it's funny because I saw this video earlier today or yesterday talking about how far we've come as a civilization in the last 50 years even. Let's say 100 years. And it's absolutely astonishing how far we have come and the advancement that we've gone through. The things that we can do today, people 100 years ago couldn't even dream about. Me sitting on the top of this hill making a video that's going to be super high quality, 4K video. The audio is going to sound great. You're going to be able to watch it on a 85-inch screen TV from anywhere in the world as soon as I post it tomorrow. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And with all this stuff, it's almost like people, it's just not enough. It's still not enough. People need more. People constantly comparing themselves to other people, and it's not healthy at all. And I worry a little bit as to where we're going. I'm pretty confident we'll be able to get ourselves out of this, but it's going to take maybe a wake-up call at some point, I think. And maybe each individual will have their own wake-up call. And maybe a lot of it comes with age too. I'm hopeful that with age comes wisdom, and that we'll get better at the way we spend our time. And maybe we won't comment on other people's posts and videos as much in time. But the whole point of why I'm even talking about this is to try to convince people, you, to stop commenting on other people's things, stop trying to inject yourself into other people's conversations so much, and have your own conversation. Start your own. Start a YouTube channel is what I'm getting at. It's one way you could. Yes, okay, if we're talking about Facebook, you could make a post and start your own conversation that other people can comment on. That's true. I truly believe that YouTube is a much better way to do that, because you can make a video, talk about whatever you want, okay? And then other people will join your conversation. And if you don't like the way the conversation is going, if people are hateful to you or hateful to others, or just mean or not helpful, for whatever reason, actually, you don't even have to have a good reason, you can delete them. You can delete those comments, you can block that user from ever commenting again. Okay, so not only can you start a meaningful conversation by making a video, making videos, starting a channel, you have a little bit of control over that conversation as well. And I believe the best way forward would be to have meaningful conversations for the better, that do good, and then you would become a creator as opposed to just a consumer and just a participant. Okay, you are actually creating something. Now, as soon as I said, I think you should start your own YouTube channel, I know a lot of you might have tuned out right away, but hear me out. I've got some answers for your reasons why you may not want to. The number one is, I don't know how. I don't know how to make a YouTube video. I don't know how to create a YouTube channel. Well, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there that can help you with that. But let me just say, it is not the hard and unattainable thing that a lot of people think. Now, if you spend your time, let's say you're here because you are interested in starting a YouTube channel, and perhaps you spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos trying to figure this whole thing out. And that's good in the beginning. I did the same thing. I spent actually years. I spent 3 years consuming YouTube videos, trying to see how it's done, trying to learn how to do it all. And if I were to do it all over again, it's hard to put myself back 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago now, and kind of rewind undo the knowledge that I have now. But I know that I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't need to know before I started my YouTube channel. All you need is a phone, maybe a tripod. My phone is on a tripod right now, and I've got a mic under my shirt right here. That's all I've got. Everything else, well, I've got a computer at home too that I'm going to use to edit this video together. Everything else is free. Okay? The YouTube account is free. The Google account that you need before you set up your YouTube account and your YouTube channel, it's all free. Program that you can use to create thumbnails for your videos, Canva, it's free unless you want to upgrade to the better version of it. There are video editing programs out there that are free. iMovie, DaVinci Resolve, CapCut. Now, yes, you can spend money on all of that stuff to get better versions of all of that, the video editing software, Canva, get a better camera if you want. But I'm telling you, the camera in your phone, if you're watching this, I'm assuming you probably have a phone. If you've got the internet, you probably have a phone, is my guess. I'd be surprised if anybody has internet who doesn't own a mobile phone, but I could be wrong. Let me know. But yeah, the camera in your phone is good enough. Even if it's 10 years old, it's good enough to start. So that shouldn't be an issue at all. The next thing people tend to say is, well, I'm nervous or I'm scared. Like I'm not a YouTuber. I don't want to be known as a YouTuber. Like, what is that? That's what kids do. No, it's not. Not anymore. There are a lot. If you're over 40 and considering YouTube, you are in a huge group of people who are wanting to do the same thing. There's a lot of people that want to get into this for various reasons. Some people want to make money. Some people want to make a lot of money. Some people just want to document a piece of their lives, maybe a vacation or birthday parties, family events, or a summer, or their whole year. Maybe they want to vlog their life. Maybe they want to lay down videos for their kids for the future so that they can watch them later. Whatever the reason. Or maybe you want to start a business and start making a full-time income. You can do that through YouTube. It's going to take work, but it's absolutely attainable. Another good thing that could come out of having your own YouTube channel is you can make a lot of friends, a lot of online friends, people who comment on your videos regularly. I recognize all kinds of people now who comment regularly on my videos, and I love it. I love answering them all. Of course, every video there will come new comments from people I've never met before, and who've never commented before, but that's cool, right? That's potentially new people to meet online, and more often than not, the people you will meet through your YouTube channel are like-minded people. They're interested in the same things you are because they're there watching your video that you made about something that they must be somewhat interested in. That's how they found your video. So that's cool and that's powerful. And that goes a long way to helping perhaps the loneliness that maybe some people experience, and is maybe the reason why some people lash out by commenting on other people's content, other people's Facebook posts, YouTube videos. And actually, just to go back for a second, another reason that some people don't start YouTube, their own channels, is because they don't want to be subject to the same negative comments that perhaps they were involved in or have seen before on other people's posts and videos. They don't want to put up with that. Maybe they don't feel like they can handle that. And to that I say, I mean, I've made a video that goes over that, but my basic philosophy there is it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or says on your YouTube videos in the comments. First of all, you can delete them or block them. So, if you are bothered by that sort of thing, you can get rid of it right away. But second of all, if you can just understand that when somebody leaves a negative or a mean or a hurtful comment to you, the problem is not yours. I mean, you kind of have to deal with it, but you could delete it and that's dealing with it. But really the problem is not yours. The problem is theirs. They're the ones with the problem. They're the ones that felt they had to say something, maybe because it makes them feel better, it makes them feel bigger. It's almost like the bully mentality in a schoolyard. It's that bully that more often than not, a bully is actually weak on the inside, but they feel like they have to project strength by bullying others. Perhaps other people who look weaker than they look, maybe, right? That could be it. That's what bullies do. And that carries over into some of these comments that I see and posts that I see. And so if you don't want to have to deal with that, you can delete them, but just remember that people who make comments like that, they are the ones with the problem, not you. And part of me actually feels a little bit sorry for people like that, and I hope they get either the help they need, or they are able, or they're able to figure out what's wrong in their life, and that what's wrong in their life that they feel like they have to communicate with people that way. It's not helpful. It's not nice. And why do we need that? So the problem's not yours. So as soon as you can realize that, it also doesn't even matter, right? What other people say or think doesn't matter. If you're worried about your friends and family perhaps finding out you're doing YouTube, maybe you want to keep it a secret, or somewhat of a secret. You don't want to broadcast it out to everybody, which I recommend you don't broadcast it. Just leave it for yourself. I mean, if you have a support system of people who you can let know that you're doing this, and they generally support you in life, then great, that's awesome. But if you're worried about what other people think of what you're doing, just keep it to yourself. The chances of somebody finding your video by accident is pretty remote, very remote. I mean, there are I think there's billions certainly hundreds of millions of videos on YouTube. And, you know, unless they are plugged into the exact same interests and hobbies that you are, the likelihood of them finding your videos is pretty remote. So hope, you know, maybe that puts you at ease a little bit. But if that doesn't, then just realize that you're doing this for you. And when people comment on other people's videos, that's because, you know, they've got nothing else to do. They don't have their own channel. They obviously don't have their own channel. People with their own YouTube channels are not going to generally post negatively on other people's channels because they know what they're going through, right? It's like a camaraderie. You know, like they know what you'd have to deal with, and that kind of thing sucks. But you know, the problem's not yours, it's with the commenter. So back to the positives. So I said you can make some money with this. YouTube, definitely you can make an income with it. You know, maybe it starts out small, you could grow it into something big, or you don't have to if you don't want to. Maybe that's not your driving force. You can make friends with it. That's the second one, I talked about that. Two more, so the next one is self-confidence. It'll give you self-confidence. If you can learn how to talk to a camera like I'm talking to this camera right now, that's huge. A year ago, I couldn't do this. I would have needed either a teleprompter, or I would have to be doing something like demonstrating something, and I'm not even really looking at the lens, I'm looking at my computer while I'm doing something. I need a mirror so I can see if someone's coming behind me. But yeah, so what was I saying? Self-confidence. The self-confidence you gain from being able to talk to a camera like this is huge, because, and it's not just talking to a camera, it's everything that comes with it. You make a video like this and you put it up on YouTube and you start getting comments on that, 90% of your comments are likely going to be positive. Unless you're talking about, you know, something that's negative to start with, or unless you're trying to be controversial or something like that, which I'm not trying to do. If you're genuinely trying to be helpful to people with the videos that you make, you're trying to help them with something, then you're going to get positive feedback. Probably 95% of the feedback you get is going to be positive and uplifting. And that's awesome. Like, that makes me feel good when I get comments like that tells me that people are benefiting from my videos. That's huge. I love that. It's great. And it makes me feel good, makes me feel more confident. And not only that, but from the comments that you guys leave me in my videos, I get other ideas for additional videos, and it's almost like a snowball going down a hill. It just picks up speed, and then perhaps you'll never run out of ideas. I know it's hard to come up with your niche in the beginning, and what should you even talk about in your video, and that's a topic for another day. I have made videos on that too, but I think this video is getting long enough already. But the last thing I want to mention is you make videos like this on your own channel that people are commenting on, you're going to be making something that you can be proud of. And you'll be able to look back and see how far you've come, because your first video is going to suck. Mine certainly did. Most people's do. Everybody's does. Not everybody leaves their first video on their channel. I did, and I think you should too, because it's a way you can look back and see how far you've come. Even after, say, 10 videos, but certainly after a year of doing this. You look back at your first video, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised about how far you've come. Right. So, anyways, that's my message for today. I had to do this with some notes, or I was going to forget all of this. I'm freezing. It's -2 degrees out here today, and windy. So I don't know what the wind chill is. It's cold. So I got to get back. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. All right. Bye.